Yeah.
You can go into
Oh
it.
yeah, we're talking. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, they're gonna do that. Take out of your PTO, in case they let you decide to let you go. They don't have to worry about paying you that extra PTO. It's already taken. So you're just gonna get paid whatever you were left for the last 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah. So that's that's how we're getting paid.
Are you serious?
They take one PTO out of
Oh, yeah?
for that week. Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So.
In the workplace. In the workplace.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. Sunday morning. Good morning, everybody. We done switched it up a little bit. Schedules and everything. Man, look, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, I'm sure, in everybody's life. And there's a lot going on in this crazy world.
And this crew.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. So, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I'll tell you one thing that hasn't changed. Stella Rosa. And they're coming out with new flavors left and right. This flavor is blueberry. Can I tell y'all? I don't like red wine. I don't like dark. But Stella Rosa has really good red wine.
Yeah, they do.
I freaking love it.
Good morning. Marilyn, I don't know if you're on, but have we had the blueberry before? My wine and crime friend? Let me know. But Jay and Natalia says it's really good, but I'm not surprised. Stella Rosa is really good. We had the black last time.
And
I had the black with Marilyn.
amazing.
That was my favorite.
That was
That was
amazing.
good.
That was my favorite.
Stella Black.
Somebody tell Stella Rosa we need to be paid.
Huh.
Period. Period.
From her
They
mouth
do
to
get
God's ears.
represented.
Yes, bring it, Lord. Bring it. Good morning. Who we got on?
Actually,
Lem.
Oh, hey, girl.
Say good morning to folks.
Hi.
Good morning, Lem.
Is that, how do you say?
Blue.
Blue?
Good
Blue,
morning.
finally got it. Yay! We were working on that. Like, look, go on this one, go push that. You have to do intro.
Good morning.
Yeah. Gotta thank
Morning.
Lola for that. She was explaining it to me, y'all. Okay, I was right there with y'all. So yes.
Can I just say we truly appreciate those that still you take notice when we put out a change that's happening.
Yes.
Like our podcast is on Sundays and y'all are still logging on, looking at us, spending time with us. We truly appreciate it.
And
Yeah,
just to kind of bring it back, this would be like the Queen's Guide. What we are, we're your girlfriends. Basically, you're at my house.
Yep.
You're at my table. You're having some fruit, and I hope you got your wine, your hot toddy, your tea. I have coffee. I'm ready to get you both, okay? And do what you do, and come have a conversation with us.
Yeah, some other new people. So yeah.
And that's what it is all about, and it's a girlfriend conversation. So, hey y'all, we're either here or we're over, in the living room part, and we're just vibing. And if y'all were here, or if I was having my girlfriends over and we had to switch up, that's what I'd be like, hey, schedules change, girl. Actually, Jay's schedule dictated and kind of changed us to Sunday, and so we got together on Sunday. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for coming over.
And for the new,
Thank you.
For our new followers, yes. Shout outs to y'all. Y'all are amazing.
Yes. What? Hold on, I got some work to do.
But yes, so thank you all for tuning in. Happy Sunday. We know that Sundays now, especially with football going on, it can be a little hectic. But if you're tuning in, like we said before, we truly appreciate it. We're gonna try to be done before football starts,
Right.
so don't worry about that. So of course, today's episode is about being Black in the workplace. Particularly like a corporate office environment, but in the workplace period, because we face certain things that are singular to us in the workplace.
Good time.
So let's get it started. You do our welcome.
All right. So, summary, this is what we do. We're going to hello, melanated queens. Thank you for the tuning in into the Queen's Guide. We value your presence and welcome to the seat at the table.
As you already know, we're not doctors, we're not licensed therapists or anything like that. We're just black women who want to love on you and really uplift our own people. We don't own any rights to the music used during the podcast. You can't hear the music right now, but usually we be jiggling. Period.
We hear in our soul, right? So let's get started. First off, I do want to touch base on the Breonna Taylor outcome. Because honestly, y'all, I don't know about y'all. Y'all let me know. But I was disappointed.
That was some foolishness.
But I wasn't surprised. Yeah. But the disappointment was...
The Attorney General is black. That pisses me off. The fact that you really... There's so much evidence that supports the fact that Breonna Taylor was murdered. And that was totally pushed to the side. They charged the man for bullets that were missed. Like, the Walls and the neighbors got more justice than Breonna Taylor. And that pisses me off. And I keep seeing people say black women are the least protected, period. Yeah. And I agree. I truly agree. It's sad. It makes me angry. The morals aren't there. That pisses me off. It's just so much. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of the emotional roller coaster. I'm tired of being angry. It's just too much.
I am tired.
It's too much.
I was disappointed. I wasn't surprised, but the disappointment was so great. And so you take it to another level. Like, I have nothing but girls in my house. This is truly a girl tribe, except Dane. But it's truly a girl tribe. And I'm raising my grandchildren in the midst of all of this, showing them how much they matter. You know, I had to explain that to my 11-year-old granddaughter, why that outcome was the way, why it happened the way it did. And you go through so much to build up your black children, especially the girls, the boys too, your family. Like, you have to pour into them so greatly, because there are so many things coming at them to tell them that they don't matter, that they don't mean anything, that they'd rather have them dead. It's like, wow. And then you have this president in the midst of it all call the whole thing brilliant. That's insult to injury. It's I can't even tell you. I'm tired, man.
I'm tired.
And I know this is life, and I know the fight continues, and I know that we have to grind our teeth and get up and dust off and keep moving. That's what our people do. That's why we're so resilient. That's why I love us so much. But let me let you know, this is, for me, Sister Tired, I need that. I'm not, man, look.
No, say it.
And this comes down to it comes down to this. Anything that you can do to turn the tide, you do. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, your vote doesn't matter. You better get your ASS out there and vote. And I'm talking about not just for the presidency. Anytime you have the opportunity for your voice to be heard, you need to take advantage of that. That's what our ancestors fought for. A big part of this is changing some of the leaders that we have.
That's the thing. You have these racist people who have power to affect your life, to affect your community, to affect your dollars. That has to change. And the only way that changes is by voting, is by showing up, is by being heard.
And trust me, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't do so much to stop you from voting. They wouldn't be changing how
the whole postal system.
They wouldn't be Trump wouldn't be suggesting that his supporters vote twice. They wouldn't be doing so much, locking people out, especially in the South, in black areas. Yeah. Locking the door so they're unable to vote.
So they're even unable
and then opening it when the line is long so they know that all the people in the line aren't going to have the time to vote. Yeah. Like, there's so many schemes to stop us from voting because it does matter. It matters, y'all. It matters.
Yeah. I think, and I want to say it was president, because he's still my president, Barack Obama. Until further notice, okay? Somebody said, look, you need to vote like your life depends on it.
Because it does.
It really does. Don't think that, oh, well, you're assuming. Don't go by your assumptions. You know what they say about assuming, right? You make an arse of yourself. Don't think because of assumptions you're assuming Joe Biden and Camilla is going to do this. That you don't know. You don't know.
And that's the problem.
But I tell you what you do know.
Trump,
That
you know,
Supreme Court nominee that Trump done proposed is getting ready to shut a lot of doors, a lot of progress, right? That he has blatantly shown you how he feels about you. If you're black, if you're a minority, okay? Trust and believe, concentration camps are happening in 2020 to people who are along the borders. None of that stuff is right. These police officers will continue to murder. And yeah, I hear it. Yeah, it happened in Obama and it happened in, okay, but it's happening in our face directly with no recourse. And eventually they're going to stop taking it to court. They're going to have a license to kill black people. Keep messing around with them. Keep playing with them. It's going to get a lot worse. He's already showing you how bad it can get. It can get a lot worse. He don't care about you. And honestly, if you're poor and white, he don't care about you either. Let's keep it real.
Right.
He only cares about the wealthy white people.
And what do you have to lose as far as time? And you already waste a lot of that, I already know. So what do you have to lose by voting?
You got to
so
stand.
Right.
Where you can stand, stand. That's it. That's it and that's all. If it's voting, go vote.
Be the
if
change.
It's marching, do what you can and march. Even if it's only for
change.
15 minutes, do what you can.
Right.
Speak up. Okay?
Be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see. Period.
I mean, you guys already seen what happened in Seattle.
Yes.
Did you see the
And that was
police
just
officer
recently.
that rolled over the hurt protester, rolled over his
Yes.
neck? And he got paid administrative leave.
Did you hear
Like the
about
slap
that?
in the face on so many of these cases is just so blatant and ridiculous and evil. It just blows my mind. It blows. And then, you know, we're protesting and that's awesome. But then they take the officer to court and they get us hyped up.
It's a mock.
It's
a
they
mockery.
do it to shut us up, and we get hyped up, and then, you know, for instance, the Breonna Taylor case,
Yeah.
slap on the wrist.
It's a
That was just a
mockery.
slap in the face.
It was a
right there.
mockery.
Right.
It was a
It's
mockery.
ridiculous.
It was just for show, and really the end result was going to be what it was going to be, and for black people who hate themselves, because that's really what it is. You've disconnected. You need to deal with your spirit in that.
You do.
I don't know what happened in your life that you lost yourself, but I will pray for you, and that goes for the attorney, whoever the attorney general and the Breonna Taylor. I will pray for you, but you really need to you let God deal in your spirit. That is a really incredibly sad state to be in.
You know, and I don't mean to stop you.
No.
The part when he said, "I'm black," as well. Okay, then why didn't you do your job?
Right. If anything,
If
you should have
anything-
did. We expected more from you because you're black,
Exactly.
and we were expecting you to understand the struggle and understand the fight.
And you know, with
Understand.
But they
right
said
from
somebody
wrong.
told me his mentor was like Mitch McConnell.
Yes, he's
Which
not
that
black.
says- that
That's
says
self.
All of that
That's
is,
that
I mean,
self-hate. And trust and believe, them white people who are hugging on you and them racists, and you say, okay, because you are a good Negro. That's why. Try your luck.
you're still black.
Step out of line
Period.
if you
You're
want
still
to.
black. People like, and for me, the people that forget about their blackness because they've got money or power or whatever the case may be, like my mom said, the minute you mess up, you're reminded, or the minute you step out of line or you do too much and they want to keep you at a certain level and you're trying to
They will
break
remind you.
that
They'll do
barrier,
that.
they remind
Exactly.
you that you're black and
Yeah.
you're in America.
Yep.
Period.
They
Like,
don't
that
love you.
is what it
They
is.
tolerate you, and whether you hear it or not, or whatever,
Right.
it is what it is.
Right.
And time will come. Time will tell. And say what you want. I know you've been in instances where you've been reminded, jokingly reminded, bluntly, and you just laughed it off because you don't know no better, or the inside of your darkness because you're low. You know, the self-loathing
Right.
of who you were born to be is so great that you dismiss it. All I can do is pray for you, man.
Right.
I can't relate to you because I'm proud of who I am.
I'm
I
proud
wouldn't
of
want it
you,
any
Black.
other way.
Right.
This-
And I put on my Facebook, it was a post, if you go on my Facebook, like it and share it, It says, I'm black, so a vote for Trump is a vote against me.
Okay.
And it is what it is. It is what it is. You can fight me.
I like that. I don't think
It
we're gonna
really
do that,
is.
but
It really
we can try.
You know,
It is though. It's real.
and you
It's
Bible
a life or
thumpers
death.
who are hiding behind the
Right.
Bible, man, and still voting for Trump and stuff because.
That doesn't even align.
It
That
doesn't
doesn't
even
even
align.
align. I don't understand.
And I'm not here to judge you. All I'm saying is that it ain't adding
Ain't
up.
no God in that.
Ain't
period.
God ain't in that. It ain't adding up.
Yeah.
God is not the God of confusion.
Yeah.
And He made all of us, and we all matter. Black lives matter, and the actions that are happening should enrage you because
And-
the Bible speaks of how you should
Right.
act when your fellow man is being tormented.
And
But-
all lives cannot
Okay.
matter
And
until
black
black
lives
lives
So
matter.
you sound like a fool.
All lives do not matter until black lives matter.
So stop
Should I
with
say
that
it again?
book. Yes.
All lives cannot matter until black lives matter.
So stop with the foolishness. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop. Okay? All right.
And you can still fight me. No. But yeah, so we had to get that off our chest because there's so many depressing, and it's like back to back, especially for the black community.
My prayer has been deliver us from evil
Right,
because that's how I feel.
right.
I am so almost in a state of fear, you know,
Oh my
because
God.
of what's happening. Like my sleep is kind of broken.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to not watch the news and see what Trump is doing because, you know, I'm scared. Not only for
But
myself, but for my family, but really for my grandchildren.
It's even more than being scared. Like when I see that man and when I see his supporters, I'm very keen on energy. And you can feel like this evil, like ignorant sort of, but bold energy. And it just disgusts me.
Hate filled.
It
I mean, you
disgusts
can
me.
feel the hate.
You can literally feel the hate, and that makes my soul churn. Like, it disgusts me, and everything you're saying out your mouth is disgusting. It disgusts me. So I'm tired of being disgusted. I'm tired of being busted, hurt, angry. Shoot, I'm just tired. I'm tired, and it's like every other. Like, it's COVID. It's the presidency. It's killing innocent black people. They said somewhere. Let me think. Texas, Houston, Texas. They're telling the residents not to drink the water because there's a brain.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm
Because of
over.
what?
There's a brain-eating
Brain-eating
organism or
amoeba,
amoeba
something
or
that
something.
got released in the water.
I'm really waiting.
You see,
for,
that's why I've been staying away from
Right.
social media. You see,
All I'm saying
this
is
is
y'all
why.
better stay prayed up.
This is
I'm
why.
really waiting for Godzilla to pop
Yeah.
off the Atlantic Ocean, and then that's a wrap.
Y'all
for me.
better stay prayed
Yeah.
up, man, because it's crazy out here.
Right.
On
It's
so
too
many
much.
levels.
I do want to say one thing about the Brianna situation. Brianna situation did not fail us, the adults. We already knew this was going to come,
Mhm.
but it did fail our youth. And I just want to say to the youth, and I'm going to talk about this. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Right.
Do not give
Keep
up. 'Cause
fighting.
Keep fighting because this is yours now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can do as much as we can. Us, the second generation, basically. You know, we'll be right there behind you. But seriously, as we here, we are all about the youth. So Brianna, basically, and all the women that been a victim, let's keep going. This is for you. We're gonna be right there behind you. But the youth, I'm so proud of you. We proud of you as the Queen's Guide, constantly, because you guys are still protesting. Keep it up. Keep it up. Open your mind. Open
Keep
your
opening
mouth.
your
Speaking
mouth.
your mind. Yeah.
Open
yes.
your mouth.
Doing what's
if
right.
you can vote,
Yeah.
if you're old enough to vote, show up and show out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to be out there. Trust and believe
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Virginia has
Yeah.
early voting, so I'm getting ready to make it
Yeah.
happen.
Right.
Happen.
So,
So
just wanted
please
to
vote.
add that
Vote,
in.
y'all.
That's good.
Thank you.
Vote, y'all.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah.
I feel relieved a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we start, can y'all show some love to my baby girl?
Oh my God! It's
Yes!
her birthday, right?
It's Marley's
Marley,
birthday.
a little cute pose.
My Libra child is 6 years old today. I'm excited. We're gonna turn up after this. She's excited, y'all. She made me buy because she's been looking on YouTube
Oh, yeah, tell that story.
at these real baby dolls, and she made me buy
has
a
nothing but her mother.
$200 baby doll who has like the silicone skin and all those other features. And we're going to turn up today, but please show some love on my posts. If you go to my page, you'll see that I posted a couple of posts about her and her birthday. She's
Marley
6
Marr,
years old.
my little girl,
Love her to death.
my little diva.
Little lady.
Yeah, she
love
is. She is
So,
truly that.
we're going to do the most for her today. She earned it. And
Yeah.
she's been doing really good in school, online schooling, and all of that good stuff.
How
She's a
y'all
really
doing?
awesome kid. Yeah, that online schooling is something else.
yeah.
How many parents you got out there dealing with this virtual schooling?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Let us know.
Let us know. I can tell
And
you.
if you have some tips,
Please.
let us know. Especially for single parents, working parents, let us know.
Yeah. I know Marley's doing good. She's in first grade.
Yep.
She's in first grade. She's doing good. Nine, who's my 11-year-old, she's doing all right. I had to have a tete-a-tete with her over the weekend. And I expect better next week going forward. But
We had to savor
we
y'all.
had
Right.
yeah.
And it was surprising because we did really expect for
The
her
other
to
way
be more
around.
independent and
I
not.
think that's what it was.
Yeah, because she's 11 and Mara is she's 5. Well, today she's 6, but we expected to have to work with Marley more with that, and we didn't necessarily think that we were gonna have to worry about 9. But keep an eye on all your kids. Make sure they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of
Don't
kids do
sleep
them
on the
that
older
slick
ones.
stuff.
Look,
There was a kid that put a baby doll in the camera, and the teacher didn't realize until at the end of the class. Like,
What?
y'all kids are doing some slick stuff. Kids are doing some slick stuff.
oh no.
Yeah. Doing some slick
That's
stuff.
crazy. Who had told me? I forgot who I was talking to. They were having trouble because there was like their kid was getting up. Oh, their kid was getting up, turn on the computer, log into class. When the parent would go down in their office and do their work, the kid would turn off the computer and go back to bed. So what I have learned, even in watching Nyasia, my oldest granddaughter, is that it's really the older ones that you gotta kind of keep
gotta watch.
tabs on because they have some
think
tricks.
they slick.
They have some
Of
tricks. It's them
course.
older kids with them tricks that you have to keep tabs on.
Mm-hmm.
They think they slick.
Yeah, they do think that they're slick. So, share your tips, y'all. Mine is just, keep your belt handy. I'm tired of playing.
Oh, bringing the old days back, honey.
Spare the rod! Spare the rod for the child, man. I'm tired. Yeah, it's been interesting.
Hang in there.
Hang in there, y'all.
Hang in there.
We all
Be
in this
patient.
together.
Be patient.
Appreciate the teachers
Right.
out there. We really do.
Can y'all say, well, I'll say this. I know y'all seen the videos of the teacher where they're like, what's 2? Or the parent, they're like, okay, so if Jimmy has 2 apples and Karen gives Jimmy 2 more apples, how many apples does Jimmy have? And the kid's like 10, and the parent goes crazy. My mom is just like that, and she's always been like that. And now I'm realizing how much like my mom I am, because with Mara, especially if I give you the answer already, and Mara's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, if Jimmy has 2 apples, and I gotta control myself, because Mara look at me like I'm crazy, she about to cry, and I'm like, okay, I need to lose side, but
I know
I
my
am so my mother.
Hey.
So I definitely miss school. I miss children having to actually go to the schoolhouse. Especially I work, and now I work a lot. So
Yeah.
I definitely miss that. It's been stressful.
Yeah.
But I will say it's getting better. But now I know my limitations. I know I am like Myrtle Stith. I mean, like Lola Stith.
And I'm
Lola
like
Stith
Myrtle
is
Stith.
like Myrtle Stith.
Okay.
We all like each other. Like,
We're a little
it's
tic-tac.
just, yeah. No.
Whew.
Yeah,
Another
I give it to you.
Right.
Another
It's
one.
been a lot
I
going
give
And-
it to y'all. Woo. Because I had my own little taste, but I think I almost went off on the teacher. And I'm like, see, this
Did
is what-
you?
Almost, but I was like, see, this is why I'm not a parent.
Hi,
What
Shanice.
happened?
No, so
Hey, Shanice. Hey, honey. Hey, Merlin.
Hi, Abby.
So my niece, you know, she was asking questions, and I think I you know, kind of came in the middle, and so she was asking the teacher a question, and I can hear the teacher kind of like,
Oh.
yeah, you know, like, you know, with Siobhan, you know, that's, you know, that we had said that earlier, whatever. And I'm like looking, and Sarah was like, no, she did ask. I was like, yeah, but to me, you know, these are kids. They, you know, they 8-year-olds, 7 or whatever. Be patient with them.
Right.
You know, they're gonna ask questions. This is why we keep telling our children, ask questions. Do not be scared. Don't be ashamed. So, regardless if she said it 3, 4, 5 times, I can understand it can get on your nerve, but she is a kid, you know. So just the way she represented herself, and that's gonna make my niece now like, what? Can I ask a question again?
You know,
Exactly. I
And
mean,
give
of
a
course.
shout out to your niece too. I saw you
Did
post her hair.
Girl,
she has such
usually I
beautiful
don't.
hair.
Thank you. Usually I don't post, you know, the kids.
She's
you know,
beautiful.
but I had to represent the hairdresser. You know,
Mhm.
she's a sister. So, but yeah, so she did that good job. You know, so yeah. You know, people always ask us, you know, hey, you know, do you mind, you know, posting our businesses? We're all about supporting black businesses, so we
Yes.
do, you know, support and post.
And if you
But
do
yeah.
have a black business, DM us or let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll go
Mhm.
ahead and shout you out.
Yes.
Oh,
So
you guys
I
shout out
think,
overalls and-
yeah. So big shout out to the parents that's doing virtual. Seriously, I see them with my own eyes. I mean, I give it to you guys. Seriously,
Right.
I think I would have lost my damn mind. I mean, just- yeah.
And we do want to shout out.
Speaking of businesses,
Yeah,
Marilyn,
we
thank
want to
you.
shout out Miss Crystal. She has an event going on. Thank you, Miss Merlin, for letting us know. It is October 3rd from 12 to 4 p.m. Hampton Inn by the Hilton.
Oh, so people
just
can
see.
go now?
Yes, let me just see. It's kind of hard to
Oh,
see.
okay.
But we'll post
We'll
post
post
it
it.
on the page because the flyer that we have is kind of hard to see on the phone. So we'll post it on our page, but just keep a lookout for that.
October 3rd.
Yes, October 3rd. It's Miss Crystal's event. And like I said, I can't even see the name of her business on here, but we'll post it. So go take a look at that.
All right, so let's get
Alright.
into it because you know we fighting football.
Right.
Yes.
So first question, how is it for you working in the corporate world as a minority or black person?
And just to recap, like today we're talking about being black in the workplace.
Right.
So that's kind of what the conversation is going to be be about.
So how is it being black in the workplace essentially? What's your experience?
Y'all see me looking at y'all, right? Because I felt it. I was like, boy, if they don't answer this one, they on. Missy, I need you, girl. I need you to come. Y'all need to start looking at Missy. We're going to have to bring her here. Well, you know, I always share stories with you guys. It's, you know what, I don't think it's going to change. I hope it does, but it's tough. It's really, really, really tough. It's like you have to work double and just basically you have to work extra, double, and all that before the next person next to you to prove who you are constantly. It's always improving, always, and I think that's where the stress come in for us black folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't do what my white colleague can do. You know, because a lot of time, you know, you get that. It's like, you know, well, he does, you know, he or she does it. Why can't you? Because even get that sometimes from your own. I'm like, really? You think that's even going to roll?
Mm-hmm.
I won't be here. You know, it's a fight. I feel like it's a fight every day. Seriously. You know, just kind of, and you always got to watch your back. Always. I don't care. You know, they could smile in your face and everything. I mean, I've had, you know, my shares from a couple of places, and we'll share that. But I'm constantly watching my back. I'm be honest with you.
I feel like for me, one, and I'm talking about school and work. In a lot of the cases, I've been the only black person there. So that can be lonely because it's like everybody else sticks together, and then there's just you. And you could be the smartest one in the room. You could be the hardest working. It just seems like in a lot of cases, none of that matters because of the color of your skin. So breaking those stereotypes and what people think of you and Like Miss Mila said, you know, they're nice to you, but you can still feel that underlying, like, their energy and their thoughts about you. So it's like, one, and especially what we're going through now as a people, one, you always have to put on a mask.
Yes.
Two, you always have to try to break stereotypes, and they might not necessarily say it, but you know they're thinking it. Three, it can be lonely because in a lot of cases, you're the only minority there, or there's a small group of you. And even if there's a small group of you, like, the unity amongst Black people sometimes isn't there either. But everybody else is together, sticking together. So there's so many battles that you have to fight, and you do have to work twice as hard. My mom always used to tell me, number one, you're Black and you're a female. So you have to be on your game all the time. And you have to do more than other people. And no, it's not fair. It's reality. So having to also do that, and you know we gonna check people. Gotta check people. I'm in a situation right now where there's a gentleman who I constantly have to check because he hasn't seen that side where, you know. But it's hard being Black in the workplace. It is hard. There are a lot of fights, a lot of it's a lot. It's a lot. It can be emotionally draining.
It can.
It's like you can't, even if something's wrong, and especially like the stereotype, you know, of Black women being strong. And whenever they do have a problem or they're not strong or they do have an issue, they're looked at as being overreacting or being defensive or being aggressive or
embodying that stereotype
right.
of the angry Black woman.
Right, and that's not the case. It's like we can't
be outraged.
Yeah, we can't be hurt. We can't express our emotions. So dealing with that is also a lot.
Yeah. I think for me, and please y'all answer the question. I mean, you know what?
Somebody said draining.
Yeah, draining.
Yeah,
that's a great way, Abby. Thank you so much. It is.
It's draining, tribalism.
It's almost like, especially if you work in corporate world or something like that, where you may be a small pool of a few, right? And it's like you get up every morning and you do put on your mask.
Right.
And you do have to put on a different persona, and you step out the door, and your whole day you're filled with always being a level above, a step above, fighting stereotypes on every side, trying to be the opposite of what they think. Whether you intentionally do it or unintentionally, I think it's almost innate, like an innate thing in us. We're always on the defensive. You are, until you come back home and you can take all that crap off, right? Or until somebody crosses you to the point where you're what you're not gonna do. Okay, she creeps out, the mask flows down, and she
per my last email.
Oh, you got me twisted. Okay.
I burned the whole building down.
Okay. And you put her back in place.
Ain't nobody gonna have a job.
Yep.
Quarantine.
Okay. But it is, the struggle is real. I think life is draining, especially for Black, if you're Black on so many levels, and then this is just another aspect of it.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Abby said.
Hello.
They steal your ideas.
I've been there.
But no credit is
there.
given. And can I say, this has been Black history from the beginning. And they do it on smaller scales and on larger scales. They do not want to give Black people kudos or credit. Period. Like, it just frustrates me. Y'all, if I say period for, you know, because I've been saying period a lot, I think it's the Y. Forgive me.
But period. Okay? It's appropriate. Period.
It is.
In the words of Merlin, period, point blank. Okay?
Yeah. No tampon.
You see, I'm
Okay, that's the one.
But yeah,
Abby, that's good.
ideas.
They
That's
do.
awesome. That's very
They
true.
do.
Yeah. Miss Marilyn said Black women have to work twice as hard as their white women co-workers and 3 times as hard as a man.
Yep. Ain't nothing but the truth, Merlin. That ain't nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth.
And you could be, like in my case, and when it comes to the workplace, I'm super easygoing. I'm a hard worker. I'm focused. I get along with everybody. Of course, you still have those coworkers that don't like you for whatever reason. It's their own problem.
Jeez. Yeah.
But I am that easygoing person, but it's like some people still find a reason to not like you or to find fault with you or to be rude to you. And, you know, I'm crazy. I can't do that. I can't deal with that. I can't.
You know, the worst thing, it's maybe kind of off the question, but it is kind of fitting. So my daughter had mentioned you may be either the only minority in the workplace or a pool of a small few, you know, one of a small few in your organization, in your unit, or whatever the case may be. And where everybody else is pulling together and helping one another, for some reason there's a disconnect sometimes with you and other people who look like you. Okay, I'm going to say, first of all, that's kind of like that slave mentality. We need to let that go. We're not crabs in a barrel. We don't have to prove our value to the master so we could be treated a little bit better. Your value is in the essence of who you are. Just because you are here, you mean something. You have value. And, okay? And there's enough that we can all eat.
All we have is each other.
Yes.
Really, when you get down to it, all we have
is each other. And sometimes that is true. You know, I know my two of my employees back in, you know, a couple of years ago, they were going through that. One employee was really cutthroat to the other on a low level. She was talking about her and you know, just saying mean things about her, but always grinning in her face and stuff. But spreading rumors and stuff like that, and you know, it hit the wrong. It was just caused a big mess. But God had the final say. An old girl's doing much better than the other. Okay, can't do ugly. God don't like ugly.
Yep.
But
since we're talking about that,
why?
Since we're talking about that, have you ever dealt with another black person or another person of color that's jealous of you for doing well?
Yeah, that's
finally
really what
getting
that is.
kudos,
That's what that is. That's
you know, moving up, leveling up. Have you ever had another person of color, especially those that you thought were your friends or that you were cool, and they get mad when you finally get that pat on the back or you get a promotion or whatever?
Definitely.
Right.
Abby, I wish you were here. Oh man, I think we're gonna start doing our podcast different areas. We need to start knocking the door. That would be great. Yeah. You know, would y'all let us come to your house and do a podcast?
We're COVID free.
Right,
We're COVID free.
I don't know if you are, so I don't know about that.
The people that I hear over there.
Oh, okay. But yes, have you?
Ooh, yes. And so let me say this one thing. And my teacher taught me this. When you go to work or you start a new job, remember you're not there to make friends.
Right.
And of course,
nothing
like,
but facts.
Yeah, it is true.
Don't trust anybody.
But of course, you know, you're at work, 8 hours, 12 hours, some of us 16, you know, and all that. So that relationship is going to build up. But I will say this, I've learned from experiences, of course. You know, it's all from experience. You just quickly to trust. So this did happen. I tried to get this position, and actually the person was not even in the same department as I was. They were in a different department, okay? The supervisor was black, all right? So the guy was leaving. The guy was white. And so it was between me and this young lady. In my mind, I'm like saying to myself, there's no way she's going to get it. I mean, she has no idea how to run this, the department. But guess what? That supervisor, all this time that I'm thinking she had my back, she didn't. She had the other young lady's back. But you know why? I noticed it later. See, when people like to gossip, see, I don't do all that at work. I come in, do my job, have fun, joke around and all that, boom, I'm out. Okay? But I'm not going to be telling on nobody or anything. She needed someone to tell her own folks what they are doing. So these are another things. So watch out for this, and you know, and we'll go over that. So that's what she needed. This person, and guess what? She got hired. And the person that I was mad at was the guy that was leaving. I don't care if he was white or black. Like, you should have fought for me. You know, because I came in the hours that you needed me to. I covered for you. There were times that I've canceled so many things, and I've worked, and this is what I get. And I've been maybe like 5-6 years with them. you know, and you do all this so you can get to a higher position. And at that time, I was like, what am I? Maybe like 27, 26. I guess I'm telling my age. I'm about to be 47 next month. I mean, in November. Yes. So, you know, and he was like, well, you know, he just did not know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, Mila, she has experience. What experience? Radiology? You know? And let me tell you, the patients, see, this is the thing. When they hired her, oh, man, the patients let the supervisor have it. See, that's one thing. That's why you always got to be careful how you treat clients and patients. They watch your back and they got you. The other employees even had a fit because they were waiting for me to have that position. Mm-hmm. And after that, let me tell you, I'm be honest with you. Yes, I did my job and I worked and all that, but I definitely did not give myself into what I used to. Sorry. Yeah, that was the end. And but guess who trained that person?
You did.
Right here. I trained them.
Yeah, trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Yep. Yeah, but I left. I left that department later. Yeah.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber. Hey, sweetie.
Yep.
With me, the black females that I did come in contact with we usually end up clicking. There are some other black females. Like I went on an interview for somebody. And I didn't know anyone in there. I came for the interview. I felt like I was looking good, had the little short cut on fleek, and had a little black dress on. And I went in, like I said, I'm super down to earth, super chill, very easygoing. And didn't know this girl, went and had the interview. It went great. Of course, they called me back for to let me know that they wanted me to come back in. But while I was there, it was another black girl, but she was mixed. And when I was leaving, she said something slick out the mouth. And so the people that were interviewing me, they were right behind me, so they were trying to downplay it like it wasn't that bad. But for me, I turn around and I'm like, baby, you're that.
Don't you know? I will take these shoes off and beat your tail up in here.
But you're that. No, I'm not. But you're that intimidated. I know no one in here. I just came in here for an interview. I don't even want the job because you're not paying what I want. But the fact that we can't uplift each other. We can't be happy for each other.
You know, sister to sister, we gotta do better.
If I look good, you can't be like, sis, you look good. I hope you get this position because that's the type of person that I am. Ooh, girl, you look good, girl. So that turned me off, but I've had incidences like that, but for me, it's just like there's money out here for everybody. Mm-hmm. But for real, working for somebody else, you're never really going to get what you should be making.
Yeah.
What your potential is worth.
Yeah.
But that's another story. But still, we can't all eat together. We can't be happy for each other. We can't root each other on. We can't help each other. You know knowledge that I don't know. And vice versa. So we can't feed each other. So in the end, we all can excel. I don't understand.
It's really sad.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get anywhere acting like that.
Not in the end. Not in the long run.
Not in the long run.
That's true.
No. Or you're always going to be unhappy because that's like a spiritual, you need to work on your spirit, boo.
That's like a spiritual insecurity almost. That you feel like you have to,
put other people down because you're really unhappy.
Up, you can't connect with other people. Especially when they look like you, same color. You have to be the one.
Or you feel like there's not room enough for all of us. Yes, there is. Yes. They conditioned you to think that way.
Yeah.
Because they don't want so many black people in their business or in their school or,
in leadership. Or something like that.
Break those chains. Yeah. Break those chains, sis.
Which one, you lady? Oh,
go ahead.
Lum said it's always the best to be peaceful, but sometimes you have to let them know what time it is.
Right. Yes.
I need my employer to know that I am one of the hardest working individuals they have on their team, but I am crazy. So don't do that. Don't play with me. You can do that with other people, but don't do that with me.
Lum right here, she's the only female. in her department.
So that's
That's a whole
Yeah,
nother
she's the only
situation
female.
too.
letting
So
them
she-
know that
ooh.
I'm not one to be played
So
with.
she does work very hard, like Marilyn,
Yeah.
Marilyn said earlier. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like black employees hesitate to open up about themselves?
Oh, yeah.
And why?
So what do you mean by that?
Huh?
Do you feel like they hesitate to open up? I
To
feel
be
like I
true?
do.
I talking about
I feel like I do. Like, I'm not the person, like, when I go to work, it's about work. I may talk about my personal life, but I don't trust people. I don't trust you with that information. And a lot of these adults, especially in the corporate environment, they're super petty and super childish. They gossip a lot. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of messiness, and I don't want any parts of it. So when I come to work, it's about work.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So-
I'm not telling you anything personal. None of that. There's a guard up.
Yeah. So can that be two things? I think that's everything about the same thing.
What are you talking
Like at work, if there's a problem and you're trying to explain to them, hey, this is not working out. Because sometimes, your manager or supervisor kind of take it the wrong way. Is that? Because I know that's the way I
But we
took
can
that
talk
question
about
too.
that too, because
Did you?
that goes into the stereotype that black women always have to take whatever. We have to be strong, or we can't be vulnerable, or we can't say when we're feeling some type of way. There's been times where, like the time that, what I'm dealing with now. Like, there have been times when I'm like, okay, maybe I should go to a manager or supervisor, but I'm like, maybe I'll wait because I don't want them to think that I'm overreacting. When that's not the case, sis. Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid.
Yeah.
Let them know. Let them know that you're not the one. Let them know that you can be professional.
Because Becky is.
Right. You
She's
can
up
be
in that office.
professional and all that.
And Steve is too. Okay, don't get it twisted.
Right.
They be in the HR office all the time. in
And
the
let
manager's
us
office,
not
you know.
talk about Karen. Okay? Okay?
So Lum said, I'm all about work. I don't open up. I'm the only black girl on
Right.
the team, like I was telling
Yeah.
you. So my guards are definitely up.
Right.
And then Abby said, I'm just saying some people share too much with people that they don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And people
Ladies.
use that. People
people
use that
use it
against
against
you.
They
you.
do. Oh,
They use that against
actually,
you.
I
use
read
that
that on an
against you.
article a couple of years ago.
They use that
They said,
against
be
you.
careful in your managers or your coworkers
They
know
use
what's
that
going on
against
in
you.
your
Everybody's
life.
not your
But let me-
friend. You're
but
not
let me
your
say
friend.
this. I'm not that person. I'm super guarded, but for some reason, I think it's a family thing. People feel like they need to tell us all their business, and boo-boo, I'm taking notes, because once you cross me, I'm putting it all out there. Okay?
See, don't mess with
Okay.
this generation. Then I tell y'all.
Like,
Because we want y'all to speak up.
you got something to say about me when you tell me all of your business and what you're doing with this coworker and that coworker and what you did. Oh yeah,
Well, that
don't
means
do
that
that.
you have to
So-
keep doing
Right.
fine,
Don't
blessed
do
and
that.
highly favored. What?
Don't do that.
I get that a lot at work. I'm like, does my face say?
It's an energy. It's a spiritual
I
energy.
know, but dude, I
something
ain't got
about you.
time. I'm
I
in a
don't either.
position where
You get it in the
that
store,
I gotta run.
Right.
sitting down.
Right.
It's so.
No,
But I will say
But here's
some people just need to vent.
Yeah.
But
no,
that's
no,
a blessing.
some.
that
No, it is
people
a
feel
blessing,
like it is a
Lord. We're
blessing.
gonna take it the wrong
Right.
way. But some, I don't want to hear it. And these are
I
people
agree.
that
I
I work with.
agree.
I know who they are.
Mhm.
And I'm like this. And then after, I'll give you 10 minutes. If that
Right.
10-minute pass, look, I know my girl's about to laugh. I do that look, and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta go. Got a little meeting.
Right.
And I told my sister
Oh,
that I did that.
no.
Like, little nigga, that is so rude. I said, look, I got work to do. They can do that. They can chit chat all day. They ain't gonna get rid of. I am.
Right.
So yeah. No, but believe me, I do listen. But just some, it's the same BS. I'm like,
Right.
dude, come on. I ain't never met your mama. I ain't never met your hubby. I ain't never met them damn kids. So. I'm tired, y'all. Well, this is the
Oh,
Ms. Marilyn says something. You have to protect your spirit, definitely, and you should never stay in toxic environment. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And
Woo!
what helps with that, like, I have a whiteboard at my desk, so I'm able, like, every morning I'll put, like, a biblical verse or affirmations or just a reminder. And other people walk by my desk, too, and they're like, ooh, okay, I'm feeling better because I put
You
positive
put positive
things.
energy, yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm 100% black, and I'm very proud. So you might walk by my desk, and I got "Don't Let the Crown Tilt, Sis," or "Black and Proud, Black and Beautiful," or whatever the case may be. But that helps.
Yeah.
I'll go in, I'll say my quick prayer. You know, I gotta say a prayer before I go in because I be on edge. But,
That's your tip. So that's one of our questions about tips to get through. Those are two.
yeah. All right. Did you ever apply for a higher position and didn't get it because of race? I feel like everybody's experienced that at some point.
I think that
You might not even know it, but I feel like everybody has experienced that.
yeah.
So this one I did. I did experience this one. I don't want to say where, but it was kind of crazy to me because I've already been there. You know, any jobs that I've always been at, I'm always there for a long time. You know, unless it's really bad and I'm out. I think it was like maybe 5 years. So the person left, and I applied for it, and I was really surprised that the manager was like, "Oh, you're not ready for this." First of all, I can do this job with my eyes closed.
How about this? I'm already doing it.
Right.
Thank you. Okay. Secondly, why all the staff, all the higher up from different states, because you know we do have a couple people that we deal with. Why did they always call me instead of the person that was in that position before?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not ready for that, okay, there's so many reasons, and I was like, okay. And I did ask. I said, why do you feel that I'm not ready? You know, oh, you still need to, apply for this, comply this, and get training for this. I'm like, okay. I said, I can do that. While I'm learning the other new stuff that's coming in, but in my mind, they already had somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. They already had someone. And so the person that left was, African American. He left. The person that they hired was white.
Mm-hmm.
Young person. And that's fine, but still. And again, guess who ended up training this person?
You.
Me. I said after that, and then at that time, I stayed, whatever, it's not a problem, but let me tell you,
It changes your energy.
my energy changed.
It really does.
Yeah,
It's hard.
it's just so sad that and I'm like, this has got to stop. And of course, what I'm looking at, I hope, you worry about your young youth. I hope they don't go through this.
I feel like we still are.
As long as you work for somebody else,
right?
You
Or
will
work for
always go
yourself.
through it. That's why being an
Work
entrepreneur
for yourself.
is so important. And I get that may not be the path for everybody. I get that. But to get out of that, that race, out of that foolishness, the only way to do it is to have your own.
Yep, and that's why
and be an entrepreneur in something.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say where this was either, but I applied for that executive admin position for the president of the company for that particular area. So everything was going really good. If you know me, I'm very familiar with the office environment and assisting and all that. So I was going through the process, and there were like 2 people, white people, that were like, I don't think that fits you.
I've heard that before.
That's the sign.
That's the sign.
That's the sign. That's that coded language. Y'all know.
You don't think that fits me. Why? Because I was doing what the old executive admin was doing, because she felt like
it fit her.
I was the person to replace her. So, and she was leaving before they got the replacement. So she came to me and asked me to take over quite a bit of her responsibilities. So, I did it, and I was rocking at it. So for me, it was like, what do you mean you don't think that fits me? Because I'm doing it already. I'm familiar with it already. Why? Because I'm black? Yeah. Because I'm young and I'm black? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand why. Mm-hmm. Luckily, the Lord came through with the ram in the bush, and I got a different position that still paid more, but it fit my schedule. Yeah. But at that time, it was discouraging, because I'm like, how are you gonna tell me that doesn't fit me? You don't even know me. But what you do know proves that I can do this. I've been doing this. So what's the problem? Yeah. So I've been through it. And the person who ended up saying it to me, I'm not even going to go in, because.
But definitely speak up, and I'm glad you guys, your generation is speaking up. I think with their generation, Lola, to be honest, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Mm-hmm. These kids speak up, as we can see it now. For your daughter to say, get me you know, the Black Lives Matter, that tell you right there, we ain't got to worry about Marley, honey. You know.
Can I say that? So it's
yeah,
so funny. It's so funny. My daughter, I told y'all about this $200 baby doll. So I'm looking online, and she's super particular, like her mother. So I'm going over options with her, and I'm like, so you want a realistic silicone baby doll? She's like, yes, mommy. I'm like, okay, so you want a black silicone realistic baby doll? Because every baby doll that wasn't black that I was showing her, she was like, no, I don't want that one. And so when I said, okay, so you want a black silicone realistic baby doll, she said, yes, mommy, because Black Lives Matter. I said, I know that's right.
Whoop!
We're raising it right, girl. We're raising it right.
Yes.
But yes, being black in the workplace, it is a harder experience than others. And we have experience trying to go for higher positions. And like you said, the girl who ended up getting the position, I had to train. Because the other girl was gone, and she had already trained me. So I ended up still having to train her.
It's really, really sad, seriously. Abby said, I'm a social worker by training. So I hear everything, even stuff that I don't even want to hear. If I'm not doing a social work. She used to, but she doesn't do it anymore. But yeah.
Still got that spirit on you.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. You guys would. When Abby talks, it's like this.
Still got that spirit on you.
We're gonna get you in here, girl.
Yes. What are some of the stereotypes against black women in the corporate environment?
I think it's pretty much the same of a lot of what we deal with on a daily basis. That we are allowed, that
We
whole
overreact.
that
We
angry
overthink.
black woman.
Yeah.
We're defensive.
We're
overthinking.
They hypersexualize black women in the
Someone
workplace.
said that to me.
Yes.
My supervisor said that to me. He said, you overthink stuff.
That's an insult, by the way.
Yeah.
Because your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
Your feelings are valid.
And if you're feeling some type of way, there's a reason for it.
Right.
Trust your gut.
right.
You're not
You ain't
tripping.
You ain't crazy.
tripping.
No.
Oh my gosh.
So if you're overthinking it, that's basically, like you said, it's an insult. They're not liking it also because you're speaking up.
Yeah, you're noticing something that they were hoping you wouldn't
Exactly.
notice.
Or people like to say
Angry
that
for
black
having
women,
an opinion. Yeah.
black women or black people in general aren't as professional.
Yeah.
And
you're
I
not
know
as
so many
professional.
very professional black people. Like, it's crazy.
Almost
It
like
was
we're
a
lazy,
school.
even though we're working twice as hard or
Right.
stuff, but we're not. And if your colleague does the same thing who's different,
They can
it's all
get
it's
away
funny.
with it.
It's
They
it's just
can
like.
get away with
But
it.
if you, it's a problem. You're not lazy. You don't see things through or something like that. So just that whole. But that also comes from back in the slave. You had our ancestors working the fields from morning till night and dying out in the
But
field
they're
and stuff.
still
But they were
lazy.
still having to breastfeed your
Right.
kids and all that stuff. But they were still lazy. While you were sitting on the porch, while they were sitting on the porch,
There
drinking
was-
lemonade, tripping.
There was
So-
an article, it was like Harvard or some school. Of course, the president of the school was white. Or it might not have been a school. It might have been, I think it was a business. I have to pull up the article. But he was on a Zoom call. And of course, there are hundreds of employees or a ton of employees on the Zoom call, some of them of color. And he said something like, the reason why there aren't as many black people in that particular business or leadership roles was because the pool of black talent is scarce.
I know a bank manager had said that.
That
was
is a
stupid.
horrible thing to say.
You can't find what you're not looking for, what you're intentionally
Right.
avoiding or you're not looking for.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, there's some type of intent behind
Right.
you not looking for it.
Because
So
let me
stop
tell
playing.
you, black and talent are one and the same.
Mhm.
Okay? Black girl magic, black magic, black period. We're talented people. That's why you want to be like us. That's why you want to look like us. That's why you want to do what we do. And you
That's why
can't
you
do
take
what we
credit
do.
for our work.
That's why you take credit for our work.
All
That's
that.
why you want to stop us from reaching our full potential because you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Have you ever dealt with a difficult boss? And how did you deal with it? How did you resolve the issue?
Out on that food.
That's our manager over there.
Who out there?
Who that?
No, I pulled up.
Who was that?
She she was a teenager, we pulled up. We put the fear
So
of God.
yeah, he begged me to come back.
We were not playing no games. Like, it was real. Don't mess with my kids.
Have you ever had to deal with a difficult boss?
I have.
You've had a couple.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
My mom is like, you've been working in like a corporate environment since I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
All of our lives.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I one thing I will say is that you have to harden your shell. And I don't care if you put your poker face on while you're in front of them people. And if you got to go in your car and cry it out or whatever it is, and you do what you got to do. But you wear your poker face. They do not let them see you break.
Right.
And I cannot say that as strong as I just said it.
Yeah.
You cannot let them see you break.
Right.
And I think I'm a very logical person, unless I'm mad. When I'm enraged, I can't help.
The logic goes out the window in the rage.
But up until that, it takes a long time to get there. So up until that point, I'm very logical. And so I have no problem coming to you and saying, one boss, I thought he was racist. He didn't want me. I was his assistant, and he would not connect with me. He would not open up to me. And it was to the point where even I became friends with the CFO. We became colleagues, like comrades. And she mentioned it. She goes, I really thought we were going to have to talk to him because we saw that. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah, we noticed at first, and then all of a sudden it changed. Well, it changed because I face it head on. If it is what it is, you're going to tell me.
Right.
But what we're not going to do is the guesswork.
Tiptoe around.
We're not going to tiptoe around it.
Walk on the eggshells.
No. So I went to his office and shut the door. And I had to come, we had to come to Jesus kind of conversation. I don't have a problem doing that, especially in the workplace. And I put it all on the table, and I think that changed it. And then also they didn't like him, and he needed some allies. And so I became his ally, trying to make him look good, and he saw what I could do. But they had it up. But it was a long story. But that was a changing thing that, we was like, and the conversation was really, look, I apologize if I've done anything to offend you. But this is what I'm seeing. You tell me if what's really going on.
Let's go.
And I called him on his conscience, and he had to come correct.
Right.
And treat me like a colleague, and treat me like a human being and like a coworker, and then we became the team after that. Another boss I had, I don't think it was race so much. Some things he did a little bit, some of his jokes, and we have one about, insulting jokes, was racist, but he saw the value in me because I'm very I take pride in my work and what I do. I very much so. But he was also just an angry white dude. Like, he was disrespectful and angry and all that. But again, you have to have your wall up, and you cannot let it be you. You cannot internalize it or let it affect you. You cannot let their negativity, that's all him. And I had to get to a place where his ugly is his ugly. I remember a time I was standing in his office, and he was pissed. And he was mad because his computer, something stupid, he was having computer issues. And the tech didn't get to his office. It took, as far as he was concerned, it took too long for the tech to get to his office. And this is white people get away with stuff.
Right.
And he was talking, he was yelling, he was going off. All of a sudden, girl, he flipped the table. He flipped his desk. And it was like a little, single wooden desk, really nice. But he flipped it, he ripped all the things off the table, and I was just standing there like, well, I'm just going to take this and give it to the vice president and call the tech. But I couldn't. I couldn't. That's you. And anybody else who would act like that was an HR issue. That was an issue on so many levels, right? He never got reprimanded for his behavior. It was just that bad. It was just that bad, if not worse at times. But, I can't, not my circus, my circus, not my monkeys. And that's you. That's you, that's your spirit. I refuse to let that attach to my spirit.
That's a good
And I know my worth.
protect your energy.
You have
at
to
all
protect
costs.
your energy, even in the midst of the storm. And I think, with people like that, that's what I did. I've been in places where I was told point blank that I was a token black hired. So the company could check that box. And they didn't expect me to excel or do anything good or great or have any value add to the company. And I had to stand on my own and fight for my dignity and recognition, right? And excel even and thrive in the midst of all of that chaos. And I did, until something else came along and it was better. But yeah.
I like what Abby said. Now you spoke about HR. She said, "I'm also not trusting of HR as their number one goal is to protect the company."
Yes.
1,000%.
Oh my gosh,
right
yes,
on that.
girl.
Yep.
1,000%.
Yep. I and I have friends that that do HR, and thank God she kind of touches that. But where I've been, nah. Just like situations that I've been gone through and stuff like that, and they want you to go and approach that person that you're having an issue with. Well, you already know this has been going on for such a long time. How many times can I approach it? What the hell you HR for? And especially when they are your own. You can just forget it. When it comes to HR, just be glad you got hired, and that's about it. But any other things, nah.
Who is that?
I'm about to yell out the window. Shut it up. Shut it up.
We apologize for the noise. Is it graduation?
Hold on. Ain't no graduation.
Is somebody
This is how you know you in somebody's house.
Sorry,
They
y'all.
out here acting crazy. Who's that?
Whose birthday is it? Oh.
Is
It
it
was somebody's birthday. I'm about to yell at the babies, y'all.
Shut it up!
I was about to yell at the babies, y'all. Sorry about that.
Carlos said,
Okay.
never let them see you sweat.
Yeah, never let them see you sweat.
Oh, Abby said, I've heard a white woman refer to a black guy as
Yeah.
being unpolished.
Yep.
Unpolished is a coded
that's an
word.
insult. That's a coded word. Yeah.
Unpolished, and you gotta be cognizant because they're not gonna tell you up front because a lot of them are
Rarely.
cowards. But
Sometimes it slips.
right, sometimes it does slip. All right, has black hair, a hairstyle, braids, a weave, afro, natural hair, has that ever been an issue? Has that ever been an issue for you all?
I don't even know how to say this. I don't think I have. I'm gonna tell you who made it worse for me. My own black sisters made it worse for me.
That's sad. That is so sad.
And of course, again, remember I said before, racism and all that never been thought until I came here. So at work, and especially when you say it in front of a white person, like, oh my God, you got white girl hair. First of all I know is I have black hair. Doesn't matter what daggone texture it is. Hell, I wish I had the afro, the push, and all that. To be honest with you, seriously. And I was like, did she really say that? But again, I was younger. Like, you don't know how to answer these things.
She would have got reported.
I didn't know that. You
She's
see what I'm saying?
foolish.
She is foolish.
Yeah.
Black people understand that we come in so many different shades, hair textures. Like, that's the beauty of our people. Yeah. Like, everybody's different and you don't know what you're going to get.
And take it a step further. When you say, oh, you got, you have white girls hair.
What are you implying,
that's
though?
That's a slave
What are you
mentality.
implying?
Because deep in your recesses of your mind, you equate good hair to having white girls' hair.
Curl,
a looser texture. Let that crap
Say
go. Let it go.
Let it go.
All black hair, no matter what the texture, is good hair.
Good hair.
Right.
Point blank, period. Okay?
Yeah.
You need healing
Nobody
within
wants the
yourself.
Becky bundles.
Huh?
Nobody.
Yeah,
wants
ain't
the Becky
nobody wants the Becky bundles.
Okay? Stop it. Love yourself. Love
Love
yourself.
yourself. And worry about yourself.
Yeah, so I
Period.
got a lot of that. My sisters, made that more worse. When I say my sisters, I'm not talking about
Sisters, like in
sisters,
general.
yeah. They made it very, very difficult.
Shame
to be
on them.
honest with you.
Shame on them.
Because you don't know how to react to that.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
stupid.
And
Shame
so
on
I
them.
just looked at them.
My hair has
whatever.
never affected me in the workplace.
Me neither.
Um,
I think it's because people know that we crazy though. Tick tick boom. Like what?
If anything, it's a fascination.
Right.
Um,
They just say they just have weird like comments like, "Can I
And-
touch it? Is that
Yeah.
your hair?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, your hair grew so fast."
Yeah.
Now I know
Yeah.
you got common sense, and I know common sense isn't as common sometimes. But come on now, it's just stuff like that.
yeah, it has never hindered me or anything like that. And I've worn my afro. I have
Right.
a lot of hair.
Mhm.
And I've worn my afro, and I've worn braids. I've worn
Different
wigs.
styles,
I've
like-
worn weaves. I like it all. I love it all. Okay,
Right.
I'm versatile,
Right.
and I just make sure that whatever I have on my head, however hairstyle, I make sure that it looks good, and I rock it and keep it moving.
Making
So-
sure you don't look like the girl on holiday with the bike.
Yeah, exactly. They never see that. And I make it look good and keep it moving, but it's never stopped me or
Hindered
or
anything,
anything like that in the
If
workplace. And I'm
anything-
grateful because I do know that there are some
Right.
places
That do.
that it is very
Oh
much a
my
hindrance
gosh.
and they're insulted because of their natural locks.
But if
And that's-
anything, in our
that's
experience,
Yep.
there are a lot of old white men who dig. They want the chocolate.
Oh
on
my
the
God!
low.
You
On
walking
the
in
high.
there, of course.
And they actually find the braids and the different, black hairstyles attractive.
Mhm.
And they'll say them like slick little comments and stuff. Like, oh, okay, you dreaming of chocolate. You trying to kiss a Hershey's kiss.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
all right. Have you ever had to check a coworker? And what happened? What'd you do?
I'm trying to get them to look first.
Did
Right,
you see?
right,
Did
right.
you see what Mila just did though?
Right.
She was like, that was the beginning of it, like.
Right.
That was the beginning.
Oh my God.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's step one.
That's step one. Actually, the praise should have been step one, but that kind of crossed. So that came to part two. I had to pray. And yeah, it just seemed like the same dang on person all the time. Just to let them know, like, you know what, you got to start changing your ways, how you talk to me. There was another one, I was in the kitchen and made it kind of like a smart comment. Again, my height has issues too with certain people. And I'm trying to reach something. She's like, oh, I forgot you can't reach that. Woo! First of all, I went through this in high school. We ain't about to go through it in the daggone corporate world. So I told her, I said, you know what? I don't know, you may think that's funny, but that's not funny to me. I'm a grown person. So whether I can reach it or not, it don't matter. You could at least say, hey, Mila, can I help you? Just like the other ones do, And let me tell you, and it's just like we were saying earlier, when you kind of approach them with that, it's like you're being mean. And she just gave me the look like, I cannot believe this girl said something to me. And after that, she changed. Yeah.
I'd rather you leave me alone. Like, I want to check you to the point where you think I'm that crazy, so you just don't say anything to me at all. That's cool with me. I'm super easygoing. I'm super nice. I get along with everybody. I'm going to help as much as I can. I'm going to do my job. I stay out of people's business. I don't gossip. But I do need everyone who works with me to know that I am one tick away from flipping the desks in the cubicles over, throwing the Keurig machine, turning up the TV, throwing shoes, throwing laptops. Don't nobody get to work. You might as well call the police, because I'm going to call my mama. Like, I need you to know that I am that person. Like, I am the nicest person, but don't do too much with me. Like, I need you to second guess. I need you to think before you approach me. Like, I need you to do that for my sake and for
Your
yours.
sake.
Like, please do.
One thing I love about Jay, and I love that this is with her. So all my daughters I think that they're all a piece of me,
Right.
in a huge chunk of me. So Jay, for me, if somebody insults me or something like that, I have to go think about it. I have to replay it in my mind and go think about it, and go through my cycle through my reaction and my emotions and everything, and then I may or may not come back to you. If it's bad enough, I'm going to come back to you and we're going to talk about that thing. But I cannot be in the moment. Rarely am I in the moment where I have a quick response, especially when it's something that's rubbed me the wrong way. And so, or Jay is very good. Like, if you come off wrong or something that you say is wrong, she's quick to catch it and she'll come back at you. Like, we could dance together, you know? And I love that about her. And then she'll come back, and she's very thoughtful when she comes back, but she'll come back at you and check exactly what you said, like that. You know, oh, what, I caught that.
Yeah.
She's that person.
Yeah.
And then she'll come back and think about, was I right or was I wrong afterwards? You know, and then plan for the next interaction.
Right.
That's how she is. She'll strategize for the next interaction. But I love that about her, that she's quick on the uptake. For me, I have to, unless I'm angry, and then you get in a whole other side of Lola. But for me, I do. It gives me pause, and I have to think about it and replay it and think about my feelings and stuff. And I am that internal person. Like, I will set this whole building on fire. Don't play with me.
I get it.
But
and even
I have to do that and then come back.
Even responding quickly, I feel like I got it from my mom, because I wasn't like that. Before, I would internalize it. I would get pissed off. But now I'm at a point, and I've watched Mama Bear come out so many times, and she does Mama Bear better than anyone else I know, y'all. If you need a deal, if you need to check somebody, especially an older person, or especially like in a professional environment,
set it off.
getting advice from her is essential. And then the best part is she can speak from a manager standpoint. Like, when I come to her, I know I'm getting like the whole perspective. Like, she's gonna tell me she's gonna tell me the best way to handle the situation. I have gotten better with responding quickly, but I think it's because now I'm fed up. And so things hit me, and I've also learned this from her. My emotions are valid. My feelings are valid. If you say something and my spirit is like, girl, they said that. And if I feel bothered, I feel bothered. So I'm going to let you know that bothered me. We're not going to do that. I will find out where you live. Like, don't do that with me. Don't do it with me. And I can check you in a professional way, but I'm the type of person, like, especially if this is like an ongoing situation, I need you to know. I need there to be that one instant where I go off on you, and it has to be perfect, because I need you to second guess talking to me again. I need you just not to talk to me. Like, the current situation that I was in, it was a dude, and he just don't know how to talk to people. I feel like I know that he does this with everyone, because I've had a couple of people come to me and mention, like, his attitude and the way he can be, and how, you know, there are some guys that act more like females than females.
Or have you ever dealt with somebody in the office who's
they
disrespectful and nitpick with everybody? And nobody says it. Everybody knows
And
that
that's what
their behavior and everything is wrong.
They
Nobody
he
never gets reprimanded for it. Nobody says anything. They just accept that it's just him.
Or they'll just be like, "Oh, that's just
you
Mike.
know."
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Mike is not gonna be Mike with me. If he's like that with y'all, like, I don't like that. I don't do that. I'm all about energy. I don't like negative or awkward energy. And that's cool. You don't gotta like me. I don't have to like you. But we do have to work. And nothing's gonna come between me and my money. So I'm gonna need you to put a smile on, get a Snickers, and get to that paper. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm not worried about you. And it's the people like that, they're so worried about other people, or they're trying to nitpick with other people.
Or really, they're just miserable.
Your boo-boo stinks. Like, you're not doing everything right. You come in late. You always have an attitude. Customers complain about you, or people complain about you. They don't like being around you. There's rarely people that like you. Like, you gossip. Like, there are so many things. And I know some personal things, because that's just me. Like, people tend to talk to me. So I needed him to know that, one, I'm crazy. I'm going to keep saying this, because I need y'all to understand. One, I'm not wrapped too tight. I've been through too much. I'm not going to stand for you saying anything to me or talking to me any type of way. Like, I'm not that person. Two, I'm not that person. I know stuff about you too. And there are things like, I take notice. I'm very observant. So I know that you clock in when you want to clock in. I know that you do A, B, C, and D. You think that, you know, I won't come at you with those things if it gets to that point? You make my life hard, I'm going to make your life hard. And call it what you want to call it, but I don't play that. Especially not when it comes to being in the workplace and you're messing with my money. I can't focus because I'm stressed out or the energy's bad or I got to worry about what you about to say. No.
Yeah, and you got to understand, you spend a lot of time in the office.
You do.
Almost
That's what I mean,
equal
more
as much
than
time
your
at home.
Yeah.
I am not going to be, you know, in my feelings or out of sorts. Someplace I gotta work and spend so much time around people.
And stress can kill you.
Stress can kill you. It really can. So we're not doing that.
You ain't my man.
Yeah.
You don't help take care of me. You don't help me pay bills. No. I need you to know when I see you, I will slap you.
Will you calm down?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think this was earlier, right? Yeah. Lumnum said HR does not protect the company. I mean, they protect the company, but not the employees. Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with any racial comments? I know you mentioned some racist jokes in the workplace. Have you ever dealt with racist jokes or comments in the workplace, and how do you react? How do you let someone know that that's inappropriate? How do you respond?
Early in my career, especially with that one boss I said who flipped over the table, I was wearing sandals and my feet looked very pretty, but my skin was out, and he had made a comment that it looked like I had on shoes, and it was, and I laughed.
Oh my gosh,
that was very ignorant. And I laughed, and because it went over my, and I went back to my desk and I said, and mind you, I was in my 20s, and I was like, oh, did he just? And I had the woosah, and I was like, I'm just gonna.
If I was your friend in the workplace, I would need you to tell me stuff like that, cause.
Yeah, I just
that's an insult for all. I feel like certain comments. It's an insult to all black people.
Yeah,
you said what?
It was very.
Wow.
That was.
I got my
very,
toes out, and they're black to the point you think they look like shoes.
Yeah,
like,
it was just
You forgot I gotta bring your coffee to you.
Exactly.
Like I will spit in your drink. Like
but it was just like that, and I still thrived in it because he needed me that bad. But that was hurtful.
It's
but
not funny. But how did he say that? Like how did that play
He did it so
out?
slick.
That's the thing. They do it slick
He did
to
it
the point where you
so
don't
slick.
catch it.
I had brought a paper and I had on a dress, and I was bringing paperwork into him, and I did a lot for him. So I was setting up his computer, and he was kind of standing behind me and looking at me, and then I got up and came back behind the desk. And actually, my toes were painted. They look pretty.
She has cute feet. I get my feet from her.
And he said, oh. And I don't think I ever wore sandals. I never wore like my toes out or sandals. They were normally like pumps or something like that. And he said, oh. And he, standing, he said, oh, you got your feet are out. And I looked like, yeah.
He thought he was about to say it again.
And he said, He went and sat at his desk. He said, I thought you had no shoes. You want to borrow mine? And I was like, and I walked out. And I went to my desk and I was like,
Do I not have any shoes on? Right.
He said, do you want to borrow mine?
Now, was he older?
Yeah, he's an old white man. And I was like, wow. And then I went through this whole thing, like, do I look some type of way, or is it? And there's nothing but that my skin, you saw my skin complexion and my painted toes, but it was like, wow, you are such an ignorant white man. But okay. And so that was one.
That's a woosah moment.
That's a woosah moment, and I just.
You're young.
And I was young, and so I didn't know how to react.
Yeah.
And
Cause
so
I
I
get
just
ready to put the cleaner in the Starbucks. Bring it to him with
It
the smile.
was very insulting.
Bring it to him with a smile. The last thing he gonna see is my feet when he fall to the ground. Cause slip that in your drink quick.
I was dismissed from a job, and it was blatant racism, and because they told me that I wasn't the right color for the environment. And I was
Did you
in
report
my
the business?
20s.
Again,
to
we were
what?
young. Yeah.
Right.
To who?
True.
You know, and I did not let them see me break there,
She
but
said
that
she
I
just
went home
wanted
and
to-
cried.
Mm.
That was very hurtful. And I told it was just,
That's terrible.
you know, and so that's why really kind of raising my daughters, pouring into them their value, and even my granddaughters, like pouring into them their values. You have to pour into your kids reassurance and self-assurance and confidence in who they are so much that when they come against stuff like that, because
Right.
they will.
They're not shaking.
You know, I grew up where we were my brother and I were chased down the street being spit on by our neighbors because we were black. I grew up
Woo!
in that environment. I grew up coming outside and being called a
I'm
nigger
glad
by our neighbors
I'm glad
and stuff
by my
because we
neighbors.
lived in a
Right.
predominantly
We
white
are.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
We've
Okay.
done that.
I believe that.
So raising my kids to have that thick skin and that defense against that and speak up when it's wrong, I mean, I really think that's the reason why I am the way I am right now, you know? And just understand, people are ignorant.
Very.
And I don't take their ignorance on myself.
I'm sorry.
You're ignorant.
I don't either.
And you're unhappy.
Right.
And something about me makes you feel some type of way, but that shows your inferior complex, not mine.
Right.
So,
But I'll call a crew up and we'll pull up in a heartbeat. What's that? What's that?
But
We already got a group messenger chat. Like, what's that? All it is a word.
Mm-hmm.
All it is a word.
Have
Not
y'all?
not someone over here.
have y'all?
Of course. But I feel like with me, people don't do that with me.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
people
think-
just don't. Because I'll tell you in a heartbeat, that was racist. I'm gonna report you. Like I need you to know. I need you to know. Don't do it with me. Don't do it around me. Don't do it
Rashida
with
said,
me.
"Pull up."
Rashida, she already knows.
Why did
And the
I
crazy
know?
part is,
Rashida's HR.
The crazy
Why
part
are you
is,
with her friend?
the
though?
crazy part is, because she bought that too. The
Yeah.
crazy part is, we work together. That's my boo right
That's what I
there.
said. Young generation, I
We
love
worked
it. Bring
together,
it up.
and she
For
was
real, I want
in
them to do
HR.
better.
She was in HR. So if there was a problem, and this is the mentality we have to have, because we need to stand up for each other. Like we need to be the support for each other. So if someone did something to her, especially if it was racially charged, oh, you got a problem with all of us. If someone did something to me and my girl was in HR, pull up the address, girl.
And Rashida, actually, for you to speak on that, knowing your
Right.
profession and stuff, what advice can you give to people? Can you share to the ladies, like being black in the work environment, if you do come into something like that?
Right.
And
she's gonna
what's
give
your
great
best
advice.
advice?
Yeah.
Just from your profession, can you share some tidbits and points to everybody
As an HR
HR expert? I would love that. We would
Yeah.
love that. We would
Yeah.
appreciate you so
I
much.
wish Yoda was on here.
Right.
Yoda does HR.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm gonna have to have her send it to the Queen's Guide. Type it.
Mm-hmm.
Rashida, she can do the same thing.
Yeah,
too.
Rashida, she could
Yeah.
actually comment on the thread, so because we want to definitely
And
speak
then we'll,
to it.
we'll
Right.
paste
And
the
then we'll-
copy.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. If you could do that, please.
Right. Rashida said HR, but don't play about my friends. I know
Right.
that's right.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and I can attest to that. She don't play about her
Yeah.
friends.
They actually, the person that I worked with, of course, he didn't have to say it, and that's another thing. They don't have to say any racial things, just the way how they treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another white person, love her to this day. That's when I knew that girl was real. She went to she didn't go to the HR, she didn't go to regular manager, she went to the top. Somebody said something.
Abby said, check your smoke detector.
Y'all shut that door up there.
This has been an ongoing
Abby,
You know what's funny?
Abby,
We don't
look,
hear it.
Look, Abby,
Yeah, Miss
look.
Wheelan got used to it.
You
Miss
okay?
Wheelan got used to it.
Look, Merlin, don't you say a word. Don't say a word.
Abby, if you want to come in this house, don't be saying nothing. Oh man! So when she so posted, I was like, oh, honey, we know.
Merlin's family.
Think
She's on the level we are. It's white noise. You don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
Think of it as a background
says something.
She's become family. She
There you go.
here. Okay, it's white
So
noise.
wait, Rashida just gave some good advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Read it.
So Rashida said you have to speak up, but unfortunately you have to know your HR person. If they are not professional and you can see the behaviors in them that are in the person you're reporting, please go straight to corporate.
There you go.
Have actual facts and examples, not feelings and opinions. If you have emails, share those.
Ooh.
Woo! Point.
Thank you, Buddha.
And
Thank
actually,
you.
That's
Yes.
one of the tips that we're
Yes.
gonna share.
We're gonna copy
and I'm
it.
just
Make sure that's
And
shared.
this is actually the next question. What tips do you have for Black people in the workplace as far as how to excel, how to overcome? That's another one. With issues, like Rashida said, know your HR person. Networking is important. Having people that, building bridges with people is important, and always have facts, have backup. You have to,
You
unfortunately,
cannot act out of emotion.
you have to
You
be
have
logical.
to be
You
logical
have to have
and
evidence.
fact-based.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Rashida, for
Thank
that.
you.
That
So
was
much, honey.
That was
know
awesome.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very important thing. Like, know yourself. Know your limitations, your points, your pain points, they're your trigger points, right? And then develop yourself.
Yeah.
Protect your energy.
Yes.
Affirmations, prayer.
Anoint your office.
Anoint your office.
Okay? Pray in your office. Pray over your office. Anoint your space.
Having reminders
I pray
around.
every time before I go in the building.
I do too. I have to because I be on edge.
Mhm.
Having things in your office, like for me, and I get this from my
I have
mom.
that. Yeah.
Growing up, we always used to come to her office, and her office was always decorated, especially with our artwork. So for me, when I go in and I have my affirmations on my whiteboard, and I've already said my prayer, I said my affirmations, I look around and I see nothing but love from Marley Haven and Asia. That makes me feel better. Protect your energy. Don't take things personal in the workplace, because there are a lot of people that are carrying things you don't know about. It has nothing to do with you. Check them when you need to check them, but protect your energy. Don't let some of the things that they're going through or the things they say affect you.
Yeah. Abby said the micro aggressions are hard to prove.
True.
Wow.
True.
But you know what? They are hard to prove, but I think if they are repetitive actions. So even if you keep a logbook and document each instance, that can become your evidence. When something happens once or twice, it may be, happenstance. But if it's happening 3-4 times in the same tone, then there's a pattern. And that's where you
that's
can
what I
prove
deal
if nothing
with.
else, that there's a pattern there of negative behavior, and I've been documenting it, and here's my proof, and that stands.
Yeah, because that's what I deal with. And of course that'd be part of the tip. And like Rashida said, the email, because that's what I was told from another manager. He was like, you got
Document everything. Document
starting
everything.
From today, document. That's it.
Even if they pull you in the office, because sometimes you can be your supervisor who's kind of half-baked or whatever, and they'll come and say something to you in the office to go, okay, recap that conversation in the email. That's a slick move. When somebody pulls you aside in the office and talk out the side of their neck, but don't put it on paper, no, you capture that. You always have your proof. One thing that I did, and this is what I did with the dude, my angry boss who flipped over the table, this is probably why, and he still calls me and congratulates me and everything. Look at God. But I used to anoint his space.
Yes, because that prayer and anointing,
I used to anoint somebody who's bothering
water.
you, anoint their space. If they're near, anoint their space. You come in early and anoint. I used to anoint. I know his demons were in fire. That's probably why I was acting so crazy. But I used to, so I could continue to thrive. So I could be protected in the midst of all that crazy.
That's a good tip. Rashida said, I think, she put a long one.
Yes!
Hello.
Give it to us, girl.
So she said, Carla said, per our conversation, I do this all the time. Girl, I didn't.
Yes! Per our
That's
conversation.
awesome.
Capture it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rashida said, I think at times we have a complex about being Black in the workplace. Even when you feel slighted, do not show your non-Black coworkers that you're uncomfortable. Continue your education by way of internal learning modules, free or take courses outside of the workplace. Come to work confident and strong. Build credibility in the workplace by becoming Sorry, it moved. By becoming subject matter experts.
Yeah.
Yes. Master your craft and field. Learn more, even if it is not in your job description.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you start taking on more responsibilities, add it to your resume.
Yes.
It is a resume builder. If you do not receive a monetary increase, use it to add to your resume.
Yeah.
But know your worth and have boundaries. Can the HR come
Yes.
out of her right now?
Yes.
She just gave us some really good gems.
She really did.
Really good
She
job.
really
Yeah.
did. Take note, y'all.
Yeah.
Carla said, gotta get it in black and white.
Yep.
Yes, y'all.
Yes.
Be serious about yourself.
Be serious about your money and your
energy, about
business
your
and
money,
your energy.
about your abilities, and what Rashida said, you should be taking classes and bettering yourself, period.
Period. That's it.
Period.
Yep.
Because we all have room to grow.
Mhm.
There's always room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to settle.
And
Don't
honestly,
settle.
you don't have no choice.
You don't.
It's not like you. You know, I've watched colleagues excel, and we've all been through this. That who were white, and they didn't have to put in half the effort or
No.
anything, but they were the ones who received.
Right.
You know,
You gotta
You
keep
have
it.
to be on your game
Yeah.
harder than anybody else. It's just life. It just is.
Right.
You know, and there's so many opportunities for you to be the best in your craft, to be the best in your field.
Right.
Eventually, maybe start your own, if that's your walk, if that's your
Seriously.
path in life. You know, but just do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Rashida's, honey, you're awesome. Thank you so
100%.
much, because
That
everything
was
you said was nothing
facts.
but fact.
Facts.
Really, real
And
facts.
Yeah.
step into your blessing. Step into, God didn't make you to be ordinary. God didn't make you
Yeah.
to just, be
here.
Yeah,
It just
you're
exists.
supposed to excel. You're supposed to be better. You're supposed to constantly grow.
Learn and grow
Right.
and
Take that
improve.
seriously.
Yeah. Don't be scared to step out.
Right.
Yeah.
Take that seriously. You don't know what God has in store for you.
Yeah. Rashida said one last thing. She said send an email for your records.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. I usually print it and send it to my
Send an
email. That's what
email,
I do. Yeah. To go back on the racial thing, we were saying, have you experienced, from your boss racial? Like I was saying, a lot of time they don't have to say anything, but it's just how they treat you.
Mhm.
They do more than what they should, because really they could do the day-going job the same way.
Document.
Going behind you, like little things. If I put a picture here this way, and all of a sudden they just changing it like one look, I cannot stand that. And I noticed all that, and actually a couple of people, employees noticed that, and they came to me, they're like, do you say anything about this? I said, I've said it before, but it's constantly, and you said that, it's constantly doing the same thing. So one day I got pissed off, I changed the whole goddamn thing. All of them, all the rooms, So one young lady, she's not there anymore. She was white. She didn't go to the manager, she did not go to HR, she didn't go nowhere. She went to the top
Right. Sometimes you gotta
and
go to
said
corporate.
something on my behalf. And let me tell you, I had an email the next day. I had a conversation the next day. And we all sat down and we talked about it.
I appreciate
And
her.
I
When you
was
have,
like,
because
wow.
you do have colleagues, just, when you're white, it also comes, it comes with a privilege. It does. Say what you want. It does.
Yeah.
And when you have a white colleague
That looks
who looks out for you, who's true blue,
yeah,
especially in the workplace,
yes, appreciate them.
what you can't say, they say on your behalf.
Yes.
They can get things moving
Yes.
where you can't. And if it is what it is, then God bless you. It's a blessing.
She changed my life.
Use
She
those
did.
use
Building
those
those
allies.
bridges.
Yeah.
Build
Yeah,
those bridges. That's networking.
Right.
there.
When
It's
you
supporting.
have that, that's supporting.
Yeah.
Like Rashida said, know your HR person. Network with your HR people. Like, you want as many people on your side as
It's
possible.
possible.
Yep. She changed my life. Oh my God. I seriously. And actually, thanks for this. Because that gives me a reminder I need to reach out to her.
Yeah.
And see how she's doing. Yeah, she didn't play. She literally said, is getting treated like slave, and that woke everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
That word slave.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Your other question? There was
That's
next
it.
step?
That's it.
Okay.
That is
So the tips.
Any more
I think with the tips.
we're doing the tips. So
Okay.
she said we're talking about documenting, especially, resolving issues. That's how you handle it, document, network, build bridges. Don't let other people's energy affect you. Be very protective of your energy. Don't take anything personally. If you gotta check them, but do it in a professional manner,
not an emotional manner.
Right.
And Rashida said that.
Manner.
Yeah.
She spoke on that.
It's good, and you told me this. So already, when you notice that this is a pattern, already put a buzz in your manager's ear. Like, let her know, like, okay, so I'm trying to be as professional as possible, but this is what's going on. So if this happens again, don't be surprised if this is my reaction. So when it does happen again, and you do have to check them in a professional manner, not emotionally charged, you'll already have things in motion to cover your butt. So
I would definitely stay out of gossip.
Yes,
Stay
please.
out of gossip.
Yeah.
Stay out of gossip.
That will get
don't
you
trust
in much trouble.
anybody.
Don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
You think they're your girlfriend, that's
No.
cool.
Yeah.
You think that's your work husband, that's cool. But they're not for you. They're not for you.
Yeah, and definitely when you go into a job or any career, don't feel like someone is always there to help you. Because I know when we were in our 20s, we always felt that, like, oh, somebody going to grab our hand. But it's not going to happen. Me, particularly, I don't know for you, Lola, I kind of always got really, really closer to the older ones. You can see the one that they didn't have time to no game, no play. They just get you to the right direction. If you can find people like that, go ahead. But still, you don't bring everything out what's in here. What happens at home, keep that in your house. Do not bring your home into your work. I'm telling you, these things
Keep
affect.
it separate.
Yeah, this thing affect your, any positions that you want to move to. Just be careful. Just basically with your work. I say flirting. Be careful on flirting, but of course sometimes you do find your spouses at work. You do.
But
And that's
I don't
human.
flirt. People are too finicky. At work,
Yeah, and just kind of
they mess around, and next thing you know, HR sent you an email about your sexual harassing somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Sexually harassing.
but
I don't do that.
I tell people to be careful on that.
Please do.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to raise, and Rashida spoke on that, write down everything that you have been doing from day one. Keep a document. Because a lot of time, how it is, oh, I need a raise, I need this position. It's always a why when it comes to us.
Right.
They
It's
want
always a
They
why.
want a
when it
lot of
comes to
proof
us.
when it comes to us. This is just speaking from experiences.
Right. You ain't lying.
Yeah.
Actually, I had
Yeah.
Too much.
I had a white colleague.
Yeah.
And this is why, when you do gain alliances with people, and she's a colleague, she used to be my boss, and I'm very honored to say that, over time she's a friend. But she came to me and she was like, Lola, this is the secret. When you ask for a raise, definitely document everything that you've done. Highlight your accomplishments. That's why you keep track of everything you've done. You built a template that's now into rotation. That's an accomplishment. Like big, small, it doesn't matter. Highlight it all. And then she said, go to, because there are many different websites, and she gave me a few examples that you can go to and type in everything that you do in a job, and it'll spit out kind of a monetary range of what your value is. That's what a lot of companies use. That's what a lot of HR companies, at least for my company, she was like, that's what they kind of use to gauge the market value of your, education and experience and everything. They kind of go with that range of if you're in that range or what you're asking for, so you'll know what you're talking about. You are one step ahead of them when you go and present your case as to why I need this raise, why I deserve this raise. Not even need this, I deserve this, I'm worth this.
Right.
You're already one step ahead of them when you present your case. They can't argue with it.
Right.
And I was like, wow, girl, I appreciate you for that. That's awesome. So that's just a really good point. I will say for me, I work better with men than with women.
Yes.
They're very emotional.
And another thing, I work better with old white men than pretty much with anyone else. Okay, don't let the thickness fool you. Like it. But I do flirt. But it's in a very slim professional. But then the guys that I work with, one, as funny as it is, and it's they're the old white boy, old boy, good old boys gang, and they do got a fetish. you know. And I have to tell, and I tell my daughter this all the time because it's just fact. Okay, take care of yourself. Yes, I'm sick, but when I get ready for work or whatever, I make sure my stuff is put together.
Yeah.
Okay, I look good.
They look at that.
They, you know, especially when you work in a male environment, that is almost like, unfortunately, you get a lot more with sugar.
People treat people they think are attractive better.
They
than
do.
People
She said it perfectly.
They think are, you know,
So
ugly or
People
unattractive.
who they find
And it's
unattractive.
sad.
It is
But it's
sad,
sad.
but it's a fact.
But it's
It
a
is a
fact.
fact.
It's a fact. If you look good or they feel like you're pleasing to the eye in some way, you will get treated better. You will get
They
more
want you around.
agreement, like
Right.
to do what you want to do. They'll be willing to train you. They'll be willing to promote you.
Right.
They'll be willing to speak on your behalf, you know, in circles where you may not be able to speak.
Right.
So I hate that. I hate it. But it is what
It's
it is.
true.
It is what it is. So take care of yourself, sister girl. Drink your water.
Right.
Do what you got to do. Exercise your mind.
Yeah.
Exercise your health.
Right.
Exercise your spirit.
Right.
Take care of yourself in all three spaces,
And
right?
it'll all come together.
And it'll all come together.
Yes, ma'am. On that note, we know it's almost football time.
And be on time. Be on
Right.
time.
And we on time?
Be on time. Ooh.
So any other questions?
No.
Yeah.
Thank you
This was
so
good.
much for
Yeah.
Thank you
joining
for
us.
joining. I'm so happy. I was scared because we moved the time. I wasn't sure if people were still gonna jump on it as quickly or, you know.
But this was
We didn't know if people were available on Sunday, but this is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah.
I feel like we need to do something. Hey, bet. No.
You see how I'm looking at you? I'm
All right, y'all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
man.
Enjoy your Sunday. Be safe. Continue to wear your mask. COVID is still out here.
Yes, don't
get
be
carried
fooled.
away.
Don't get carried away.
But yeah, just enjoy the Sunday.
Yes. Have
Enjoy
a
your
wonderful
Sunday.
day. Oh, we got to do our mantra real quick.
We do have to do our mantra.
We have to do it together. I can't find it here.
Right.
Well,
And
this is
y'all
going to be a
will-
little sketch because we all blind.
Right.
And we're all trying to look off of one phone to do our mantra because even after 16 episodes, we don't have this daggone thing memorized.
Right.
Oh, I won't. Let me tell you that now.
All right. All right. On the count of 3. Let me let her. And as you can see, Miss Phelan has a beautiful
Yes!
smile.
Smile for me,
showing.
baby. Yes! Go ahead and smile. Her braces are all. She's looking fabulous.
Be single and mingle. She's ready to be out here. Not too far out here, but yes, her smile is beautiful.
Thank you, babies.
All right, on the count of 3.
Make this quick.
1, 2, 3. I am loved. I am growing. I am healing. I am empowered. I am at peace. I am confident.
I am wealthy.
What? We claim that.